Howdy, y'all. I thought I'd do kind of like a day in the life, what I'm up to today type of video. So, Chris is out working in the garden, trying to get that leveled out. I've got some asparagus that I've already prepped fresh. And I like steaming it. I just wash it, cut it, put it in one of these loaf pans, and then I cover it with a saran wrap, put it in the microwave for like 2 to 2.5 minutes, and it comes out beautifully steamed. I don't dry it or anything, just the water left over from washing them goes in there. It's beautiful. It's so easy. And then I was like, oh, Renee's Secret Garden had me craving darn barbecue. So I had some beef ribs left over from a ribeye. It's supposed to be bone and ribeye, but they cut the dang bone away from the ribeye, which drives me nuts. So I had the rib part. I bought the whole big ribeye and just cut it into steaks. But I had their beef, so I've got those boiling to get them a little tender, and then I'm going to grill those in a bit. Then I wanted some baked beans since we're doing barbecue. So all I had was just navy beans. So I rinsed those, put them in here, put in some petite diced tomatoes that I had left over from another dish in here, which was great use of that. I had some red onion that I'm trying to use up that I diced to put in there. Excuse me. Pollen count 6,000 today. And I've been out in it. So yeah, the onion. I put a little ketchup, a little bit of mustard, and some molasses in here. And then I'll bake that. But then I have earlier this week, I boiled, then baked. For the first time, I tried the boil method and baking method I usually just bake it. So I'm not having to babysit it on the stove so much and stand over it. And I tried that method. I was pretty impressed. It took a lot of the salt. It's still salty, but it took a lot of the salt out of it. And then when I baked it, I was so amazed at how clean the oil was. You know, when you cook bacon, you get all those brown burning pieces and stuff. And I did 2 pounds of bacon. 2 whole pounds. And that stuff came out very, very clean. So if I save bacon grease, I normally have to filter it because of all that black stuff. And then you kind of have that burnt bacon kind of, by the time you do 2 pounds of it. But this method, oh man, it was beautiful, clean grease. It was just amazing. Amazing. I have a friend who said he didn't like baked beans, but I don't know how many cans I made. This is a dish bigger than this. But I put a ton of bacon in it. And yeah, he loved it. He loved it. But I think it makes all the difference. I think I put 4 pieces here in this one. That should be plenty for this dish. And I'm just going to wrap this. Well, I could go ahead and bake it. Get that done with. How about if we do that? All right. That's good. I'm still drinking coffee. I was up till 6:30 this morning. I worked through the night editing videos. That's always fun. So what did I upload today? So today was garden tour. Those are pretty easy because I don't edit those too much. Well, did I? I'm trying to remember which one I edited. But the other night it took hours, because I had like a 58-minute video. Oh, that wasn't the garden tour. That was one I think that I ended up putting out Friday. All I did was add like a couple of text boxes in there to clarify what I was talking about. Well, it was a cooking video. I can't even remember what it was now. Oh, it was the polenta dish. So yeah, but it was so crazy because I had to download it to my phone, to my computer, then from my computer, bring it into Adobe Express, put in the 2 text boxes, and then it took forever. I don't know why. Adobe Express took forever to even process that and my little text thing. So I had to wait half hour or so for it to process to be ready to download even. Or download to my files. So I finally got to be able to do that and then upload it to YouTube. And this whole process for a 58-minute video took forever. And then once it uploaded, it gave me the worst thumbnails suggestions. So then I had to take that video, load it back on my phone because I'm a goober and Chris was asleep. I had forgotten how to do screenshots on a computer. And I was so tired that I didn't even think to Google it. So I took that video, put it back on my phone, went to the end, found the good screenshot of the dish. Then I was able to make that thumbnail, and then, yeah, it was a process. I probably shouldn't work tired, but I don't know. If I didn't work when I was tired, nothing would ever get done. Nothing. Because these days, still recovering from my shoulder. I'm still babying my shoulder a lot because it was so messed up. It's feeling better, but Chris didn't want me working out in the garden because, see, I'm a mess. I haven't even showered today. And my eyes are all puffy because of the pollen. Yeah, he doesn't want me messing my shoulder up. And I agree with him. I just need to heal. The sun's coming out. It's supposed to rain later today. So, I was hoping that we would get a lot of the garden stuff done, but he ended up going to get the tamper. I'm like, we're nowhere near needing the tamper yet. So, but yeah, oh, look at my freezer. It's getting a little bare. I've got some tomatoes left over. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull another 2-pounder of bacon up. But those are my tomatoes. I still have some frozen peas from last year. Pesto, sweet potatoes. I've got tomato pesto and regular basil. Add cheese pesto. Still have some frozen tomatoes if I want a quick sauce. Or I want to try and broil these too. Because I like to roast cherry tomatoes until they're almost kind of blackened around the edges. And then I just eat them. Like, it takes so long to do them, but they're so good. I've got collard greens from the garden. I've got some eggplant moussaka back here. These are like emergency lunches or leftovers. Almost done with my berries. There's a little pawpaw, strawberries. Now that pawpaw back there, I think I'm going to do what I did with that guy James that came over to till and just try and plant those whole like that and see if any seedlings come up. What the heck? And I've got some meats, but I've been going through all my meats. I'm trying to get ready for the season. I've got some more mussels. And this is, I make those big batches of Alma Wahlberg spaghetti sauce every now and then. So I have that up there. And these are always good for a quick snack or a dinner. Sometimes I'll just throw these in broth with cabbage and onions and call it dinner. And that's where I thaw my stuff. They're all my Asian sauces. But yeah, I've got, check it out. Overnight, we've got an okra coming up. Little okra. So that's exciting. But I've gone back. I hadn't had this light on because I've been taking everything outside, but things have been inside for a couple days. So I decided, and those seeds have been a week. So I'm going to give them some indoor light treatment, see how that goes. I don't know. We shall see what happens. My face is still a little red. Oh, I meant to put this bacon in the fridge here. I should put it on my shoulder. Ice my shoulder down a bit. But nobody's got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Chris loves Cokes. I don't get it. I got rid of my Coke thing back when I was 20. Gave that stuff up. Oh, that's my timer. So I have 2 shop lights that I normally use for my seeds. But I'm tired. I'm not only going to hook up one today because that's what I'm feeling. I feel like an hour is better than 0. But I'll put the timer on for, say, another hour. And then I'll turn the light back on. But yeah, my dad, let's get back to these ribs. My dad used to be like, I don't understand why I can't cook ribs. They always burn before they're done. I'm like, you gotta boil them. He's like, oh, you're gonna lose so much flavor. I'm like, look, there's so much flavor in beef ribs with all that fat. I don't lose any flavor. And I season this. It has garlic powder, onion powder. It has black pepper in it. And I bought some Kinder's barbecue sauce because I really love this stuff that Angela Critter's got me addicted to. And so, yeah. And we have this blackberry pie that I made. I do top crust only pies. Save on some carb and fat. We like that. But those were from my garden last year, so that's why my berry supply is kind of getting low. All right, what else have we got? Here, I'll take you out. You can see what Chris is doing out here. But man, this pollen. It is tick mun. We got some tick pollen mun. I'm hoping to see some, I'm going to guess, after these rains, we're going to get some blossoms on these peas. That's what I'm betting on. But look, have you ever seen this darn that's oregano that has taken over my entire herb garden and killed everything. I had chives in here. It hasn't killed I have some rough looking lavender back there. It didn't kill that, but it's working on it. And then but it killed mint. The dang stuff killed mint. Can you believe that? Hey, hon.
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty good. It's a lot more level than it was.
Oh, yeah.
All the grass, all the top of the soil had gobsing out of the grass. Let's not put any of that in the bed. Let's just buy bags of soil.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it'll gild, all that grass will seed and crowd out the good stuff.
Well, we're going to put the weed barrier down anyway, so no grass should grow.
Right.
Under here.
But no, I leveled it out. And I think
it didn't level.
It's getting there, though.
It's getting there. You're going to want to take some of this soil out and put it in the bed. I'm just saying.
Which parts?
This where it's really high, right here. Mm-hmm. This where it's really high. It's got to be level.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be level.
Okay.
So, do you remember what guy that it was that I sent you the video of and how he levels?
He's using these boards and kind of scraping back.
Do you remember the channel name?
I'm not going to look up on my
He had a
phone.
really good method of leveling. we're going to use, we have these old pipes that were in here we're going to use, and he kind of levels like you would if you were doing concrete work. So that was really swift. So that's why I told Chris before, like, we could put soil or whatever in there, but it's going to cost a fortune, and we're not even growing in it. So I don't want to waste money. Tell me what y'all think. I don't want to waste money on something that we're not even growing.
Jason Geringer.
Jason Geringer. So basically what he did was he used some 2x4s. I think he did use some conduit at some point, like in another section of the yard he was doing. And he just worked in sections is what he did. So, see if I can give you an idea of what he did. And we're just going to have to work from corner to corner kind of here. But now he used his existing sidewalk as his level, like, starting point. So, and you can do this, you can do it in as big a section as you want. Let me turn this around. So basically what he did is he laid these out at the level that he wanted, right? And like I said, it might be better on these corners to start in a smaller section. And then what he did, he puts 2 rebars in a spot, right? And then he'll lay down he'll put in a 2x4 with 4 inches, going up and down. And then what he does is he just kind of pivots that 2x4 along the two edges. But what we would do is, like, put these in level, get the leveler out, and then we would slide all the dirt coming this way once those poles are level with the level that we have. So that's kind of how he did it, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. It's a much easier way to try and level ground. Now, of course, these are going to have to be kind of buried in until they're level to be able to do that. But yeah, brilliant. And a lot of landscapers checked it out, and they were praising him for his method. So they're like, oh, you're going to make my life so much easier. But yeah, I need to go get the rebar so we can do that, is the only thing. So, in fact, on this, it might be easier. We have 3 poles. Oh, and that one's bent there, so we can't use that edge, but not everything there is bent. So, but up to a certain point, we can use that bar. But yeah, then we got to get all these little trees out and killed, and yeah, get this landscape timber done. And then Chris has been, we have a little room up here. So what I suggested is, since it's going to rain, once he gets, we're not going to be able to level tonight, but it's going to rain. So I was saying, pull all these bags out of this bed and then just fill this area with dirt, because what we're going to end up with is needing some dirt to level that out again eventually. Once it's all once we do that method and then tap it all down, it's still going to need some dirt to level. And I don't want to buy dirt when we don't have to. So that's my thing. I mean, we have dirt here, but dang, this stuff isn't cheap. Not cheap at all. So if you can save money, save money. That's what I like to do. And we'll get this repaired, because once we get those, look at this. Once we get those beds built in there, a lot of this dirt's coming out of here. So that'll be fine. And then we'll do the repair once we get that dirt out. I have some big clamps that I can put there. And once I get those clamps clamped on, then we can do the other 2x4 repair that needs to be done. And then, so we have this problem area here. Turn this back around. We have this problem area over here. Now this is where there's a place here they do recycle. They recycle construction material and they take landscaping stuff. So they take timber, wood chips, branches, leaves, whatever. And then they also take concrete and gravel and stuff like that that people don't need, and then they recycle it. So we ordered a bunch of dirt from them and they delivered it here. Now, I said, guarantee me this is compost and it's pure and you don't have any other crud in there, because this is for our garden. Like, yeah, we get it. It was weighted with some gravel. I was like, you dog. So, you do that to every load you sell. It adds up over time. But yeah, so this was a pit that was left from what we did use, and it never got leveled out. So I told Chris, those are all the grass from what just got tilled, and that'll break down there. But we gotta get this leveled out. I was telling him I wish our neighbor had a tractor. Oh yeah, he has an earth mover over there. He has a little one. We need to pay him like $50 to bring that thing over here and level this out, because he can do it in like 10 minutes. It isn't that big. And when we had those giant mounds of wood chips brought in to do that quote deep bed method of gardening. Pardon me. He saw us out here trying to muck that stuff and get it leveled out, and he came out, got on his tractor, and he got it done. He took care of it really quickly. Really, really quickly. Doesn't take long to get my sinuses going out here. Look, we're already starting to get little berries forming there. Look at that. I didn't notice that yesterday on the gardening video. That's awesome. I don't think we're going to get any more freezes here. But this is one place where we had all that deep bed mulch garden stuff. Now this is kind of what we saw when we started that project. But what happened is, a lot of these weeds are kind of taken over. I think this is called rocket weed or something like that. But what happened was we had like sprigs of Bermuda grass. You can't tell, because there's this, and then there's this stuff, and it's a hodgepodge. But once we put that mulch down, oh my gosh, that stuff grew everywhere in here. It made it totally not viable for planting. And then we had, so funny, over here we had 2 mounds we did potatoes in. And I got this idea from Justin Rhodes, right? But he got more coyote poo. It could be cat poo from the neighbor's cat. But oh, that's duck, sorry. That's a goose poo. But what we did, we planted 2 mounds here of the potatoes using that deep bed mulch method. They did great the first year. And then, like I said, the they did all right. Oh, I think we used just soil. And then the next year we decided to put some mulch on them too, because they got a little dried out. And then there's a worm that'll attack your potatoes. So they recommend you plant your potatoes in different places every time to not get that. But so we ended up getting those worms, and then we had two, like, it looked like, I tell you, they look like burial plots. I had company over one time, and they didn't know what we did. They're, good friends. They're not gardeners or anything. And they came over, and I just was walking her out here to show her all the progress we had made out here. And I kind of came out here because these were like big mounds. I took her out here, and I just stood here in silence for a minute looking at it. She stopped. She was looking at it, and I was like, yep, this is where we buried them. And then I walked off, and she thought I was a nut. But look, so what is that? I hadn't seen Patera in a while because she's just too full of conspiracy theories for me. If you know, you know. She's like, look at this mud. Like, they say it's pollen. Pollen doesn't float on water. Yes, it does. It's all floaty pollen on water. Wait till it's gonna like clear up tomorrow. Once this rain comes, then you'll see there will be like where stuff puddled, and then there will be rims of pollen everywhere. But that's how tick it gets out here. It's crazy tick, come on. So, yeah, the blueberries surprised me though. It's amazing how much things can change. Literally, overnight. Oh, there's a hawk. Oh, it's it's nesting season, so for the squirrels and for the birds. So I imagine they're attacking nests. We'll see if this goji berry comes back at all this year. I don't know. I have a problem, like I noticed just now in my blueberries, I have a problem in that I got oak tree coming out of one plot. I've got Virginia creeper coming out of another pot. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to get rid of it without digging up the whole dang tree. I guess I can tackle that after harvest. Famous last words. Famous last words. Hey.
Given that these bags are already open, you only just dump those in there?
No.
No? Where do they go?
Just kind of like wrap them up and yeah.
Okay, and I'll dump what little dirt I've got there into there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we need to conserve that because there will be leveling. Like I said, I'd prefer to not buy expensive dirt for that because we're not planting in it. If we were planting in that would be a different story. But since we're not planting in there, we're putting raised beds on top of there with a barrier in between and with wire, we're going to put down landscape barrier. The weed barrier. Once it's leveled, then we're going to put, build the beds, and we're going to put that hard wire cloth under the bed to keep the moles from eating through and getting into the beds and eating our vegetables. And then we're going to fill those beds with dirt, and that's what we're planting in. We're not planting in this soil. Except for what you take out of here and put over there. We're going to put that back into the beds, and then we're going to use this in the beds and other soil. Nicer soil in those beds. But that soil that you're pulling out of there now to help level can go in the bottom of those beds to help fill without spending a ton of money on good, expensive soil to to fill there. And since I was a chicken coop, it's going to be fairly reasonable soil, in my opinion. See if this is doing anything. I mean, this, I still need to hear from some hickory. I keep saying hickory, some filbert hazelnut growers. When do the nuts start forming? I mean, they're popular in the fall, right? Thanksgiving time and all that. So I'm kind of thinking like that's when it all happens. Like around pecan season as well, where they start dropping in the fall. But I don't know. I need a hazelnut expert. I need to go by Tractor Supply, see what they have, but I've got so many other projects to do over here. Since I really don't even need to do that. Help me. I need to look at fencing prices. I'm going to start buying fencing, dollar cost averaging that into the budget. Because that stuff's going to be about $500 right there. Alright, so let's get these baked beans in. And get that done. I need something. Well, I'm going to start the grill next. And then this can come out once I turn the light back on. I'm going to get the grill going. That was weird. What was that loud noise? And then, I don't know, it's 4:30. I have 2 hours. I don't need to light it yet. But I'm going to do some other things around the house. Maybe clean a toilet. Hey. And get that done and finish my coffee. I only drink 2 cups of coffee a day, but today, let me tell you, it has been a late start because of my weird hours lately. So, and I'm just so ready. Have y'all ready? I'm ready to get back into a decent schedule. Oh my gosh, I was doing so well until my shoulder messed up. And then it's hard to sleep when you're in pain. Right. But this is the barbecue sauce I'm going to try. And this is what their hickory brown sugar. And sodium's not too bad. 260 for 2 tablespoons. 15 grams of carb. I mean, really. And the ketchup I use is 50 half less sugar, half less sodium. So this only has 4 grams of carb per 1 tablespoon. And I think I only put really a couple in that, the bean dish. So I'm not going to have many carbs today total. I try and watch that as well as sodium. So I'll be pretty good. That means I can have maybe a glass of wine later, which I probably will. It is the weekend, and that's kind of like a treat for working hard. But, you know, I work 7 days a week, whether it be videos, comments, YouTube, all the stuff. Yeah. But I think I took last Monday off. And now with my schedule change where I'm doing trivia on Wednesday nights, right, that kind of has thrown me for a loop because I have to write the trivia. I have to do the research. So Monday, Tuesday, I think it came down to Tuesday this week. And I was like, oh, the only thing I can focus on today is trivia and getting that written and done. And that takes me a good part of the day, you know, between answering YouTube comments and then doing all that research and getting sucked down rabbit holes. Yeah, it takes a while to write these trivia things, but I may do a mix of 60s, 70s, 80s again. That was fun. I've not done 90s yet. Simply because the age group that we have is not too... I might incorporate a little bit of 90s this time. Maybe do 70s, 80s, 90s instead of the 60s. I like a lot of the R&B from the 60s. But there was good R&B in the 70s too. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun regardless. Oh my gosh, last week was so fun, especially at the end of the game. Vinny, I'm still laughing at your comment. That was hilarious. That was good comedic timing. Amazing. Anyway, so that'll be it. I'm going to let y'all go. And I'm going to get the rest of this stuff done. Maybe get out there and help Chris a little bit. He's working hard. He's a hard-working man. But I'll feed him good. I do that. So take care, y'all. Love you. See you later. Bye.